Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we have Monster Jam Holiday Racing Season 6 Event number 3. So before we get things started here today, I am very quickly going to go over the top 8 in the point standings coming into this event. So right now, coming into this event, your points leader is Mechanical Mischief. He is in the lead with 11 points. In event number 1, he lost in the championship race, and in event number 2, he lost in the semifinals. So it has been a very strong start to the season for him, and he is currently in first place. And then in second place, only 1 point behind, we have the Gravedigger Track Ace. He currently has 10 points, and he lost in the semifinals in both events 1 and 2. So what that means is both Gravedigger Track Ace and Mechanical Mischief both made it to at least the semifinals in the first 2 events. So those 2 trucks are definitely the strongest 2 so far to start this season, and everybody else is hoping that they can lose as early as possible in all the events from here on out to try and catch them in the points. But then in third place, we have your Event 1 champion, the 2011 Monster Mutt. He currently has 9 points and is only 2 points off of the lead, so it has been a very strong start to the season for him as well. Then fourth and fifth is actually a tie between your Event 2 championship truck, the Holiday Stunt truck, as well as Excalibur. So they are tied right now for 4th and 5th, and they both have 8 points. So they are both 3 points off of the lead, and it has been a very strong start to the season for them as well. Then we actually have a tie for 6th and 7th, which is between your Event 2 runner-up Dragon, as well as the Snow Drifters Megalodon. Both of those trucks have 7 points, and they are 4 points off of the lead. And then in 8th place, the final truck that we're going to go over before we start things here today, we have Dancer. He stands alone at 6 points right now, currently 5 points off of the lead, and like I said, he is in 8th place. So that is the top 8 in the point standings coming in. If you guys are wondering where you are in the point standings, I did go over the entire thing just after I finished event number 2. Like the last 3 or 4 minutes of the video, I went over the points if you guys wanted to see. But yeah, guys, without further ado, you guys have been seeing all the races. I'm not going to waste any time by showing all the races up close. So let's just jump right into this now. As you guys know, if you lose in round number 1, you will receive 1 point for this event. And then as always, both in the description below as well as the comments, I have a list of the whole field of trucks, just in case you guys don't know what truck you are in at this point, because of course, you are in the same truck for every single event. So without further ado, we're going to kick things off with Holiday Hauler taking on Jurassic Attack. So event number 3 is underway. And the first win here today is going to go to Holiday Hauler. Next up, we have Iron Man taking on the 2014 Monster Mutt. And Monster Mutt is going to take the win over Iron Man. Next up, we have Santa's Monster Sleigh taking on Crustacean. And Santa's Monster Sleigh is going to take the win over Crustacean. Next up, we have Krazy Train taking on Stone Crusher. And what a race right there, and it looks like Stone Crusher is going to get the win. Next up, we have the White Roll Cage Hot Wheels taking on the Snow Drifters Earthshaker. And Earthshaker is going to take the win over Hot Wheels. Next up, we have Zombie taking on 2nd place in the point standings right now, Gravedigger Track Ace. And Zombie is going to get the huge upset win. Even with rolling over, Gravedigger Track Ace did a wheelie, and that is going to cost him. Zombie will move on. Next up, we have a Battle of the Customs. We have Jester taking on Monster Mutt Dalmatian. And Dalmatian rolls over, and Jester pops a wheelie. I think it's going to be Monster Mutt Dalmatian, and yes, it definitely is. You guys can clearly tell here from the aerial view, Dalmatian is way ahead, so he will take the win. Next up, we have Prancer taking on your points leader, Mechanical Mischief. And Prancer is going to get the huge upset win. So the top 2 in the point standings coming into this event have both been eliminated already. Prancer had a very slow start to this season. He lost in round number 1 in the first 2 events. And now in event number 3, he knocks out the points leader in round 1. Next up, we have New Tool Gravedigger taking on Soldier Fortune. And Gravedigger rolls over and Soldier Fortune does a wheelie. I feel like that's been the story of the last few races. One truck rolls over, one does a wheelie. But in this case, I'll hold it like directly to the side of these two trucks, and you guys can see here from the side angle that Gravedigger is going to take the win. Next up, we have the 2017 Monster Mutt taking on Orange El Toro Loco. And Orange El Toro Loco is going to get the come from behind win. Next up, we have Batman taking on Vixen. And Batman is going to take the win. Next up, we have Son of a Digger taking on your Event 2 runner-up and 6th place in the point standings, Dragon. And Dragon is just barely going to sneak by Son of a Digger to take the win. Next up, we have Tasmanian Devil, who historically has been one of the fastest Holiday Edition trucks on my channel, but it has been a very slow start to the season for him. He has lost in round number 1 in the first 2 events. He's looking to finally turn it around here, but he's taking on Scooby-Doo, who has looked pretty fast so far to start this season. Let's see who's going to take the win. And it is going to be Scooby-Doo, as long as Taz didn't hit the shelf, but I don't think he did. No, he did not. Scooby-Doo takes the win, and the rough start to Season 6 continues for Tasmanian Devil. Next up, we have Monster Mutt Rottweiler taking on Max D. And Max D is going to sneak by Rottweiler to take the win. Next up, we have the Snowdrifters Max D taking on Pirate's Curse. And Pirate's Curse rolls over. That's going to give the win to the Snowdrifters Max D. Next up, we have the Black Roll Cage Hot Wheels taking on your Event 1 champion and 3rd place in the point standings, 2011 Monster Mutt. And Hot Wheels cut into Monster Mutt's lane on the ramp, excuse me, and he is going to be able to block Monster Mutt for the win. So the top 3 now in the point standings have all been eliminated in round number 1. This is what everybody else in the field wants right now, because the more trucks at the top of the point standings that lose here early on, the better it is for everybody else. But anyways, guys, next up we have Blue Thunder taking on Megalodon. And Blue Thunder is going to take the win. Next up, we have Michigan Ice Monster taking on Avenger. And wow, they both collide there and roll over. But as you guys can see here from the side angle, it looks like that Michigan Ice Monster is just barely going to take the win. Next up, we have the Snowdrifters Dragon taking on the truck that is currently tied for 4th place in the point standings, Excalibur. And Dragon goes tumbling over. That is going to give the win to Excalibur. Next up, we have Red El Toro Loco taking on 8th place in the point standings, Dancer. And Dancer is going to take the win over Red El Toro Loco. Next up, we have Captain's Curse taking on Higher Education. And Captain's Curse is going to take the win. Next up, we have your Event 2 champion, Holiday Stunt Truck, who is currently tied with Excalibur for 4th place in the point standings, and he is taking on Mohawk Warrior. And he is going to take the win over Mohawk Warrior. Next up, we have the Old Tool Gravedigger taking on TMNT. And Gravedigger is going to take the win. Next up, we have a very interesting race to close out round number 1. We have Prowler, who just like Tasmanian Devil, has historically been one of the fastest trucks on my channel, but he has lost in round number 1 in the first 2 events. Tasmanian Devil wasn't able to turn it around, but Prowler is looking to do so. He is taking on the Snowdrifters Megalodon, who is tied for 6th with Dragon in the points. Let's see who's going to take the win. And what a race that is right there. Possibly the closest race in round number 1. And just barely it's going to go to Megalodon, so Prowler continues to struggle. So here's a look at all of the trucks that lost in round number 1, which means that they will get 1 point for this event. And now it is time for round number 2. So we are down to 24 trucks, and here's a great look at all of the matchups in this round. So as always, if you lose in this round, you will get 2 points for this event. So without further ado, we are going to kick things off with Holiday Hauler taking on the 2014 Monster Mutt. So round number 2 is underway. And the first win, I think, is Holiday Hauler. Here's a look from the aerial view. We're going to have to go straight down. And yes, it is. Holiday Hauler will defeat Monster Mutt. Next up, we have Santa's Monster Sleigh taking on Stone Crusher. And Stone Crusher is going to get the huge upset win over Santa. Next up, we have the Snowdrifters Earthshaker taking on Zombie. And Earthshaker rolls over. He ends up saving it, but that's going to cost him the win. Zombie will move on. Next up, we have Monster Mutt Dalmatian taking on Prancer. And Dalmatian rolls over, but I think he might have gotten the win. That is very, very close. Let's take a look here from the aerial view, and we're going to have to go straight down. And it looks like it is going to be Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Next up, we have New Tool Gravedigger taking on Orange El Toro Loco. And Gravedigger does a wheelie, and that's going to cost him. El Toro Loco will sneak by to take the win. Next up, we have Batman taking on Dragon. And what a race that is. Batman is going to hang on to take the win. Next up, we have Scooby-Doo taking on Max D. And what a race that is right there. Scooby-Doo is going to block Max D to take the win. Next up, we have the Snowdrifters Max D taking on the Black Roll Cage Hot Wheels. And Hot Wheels is going to come back to take the win over Max D. Next up, we have Blue Thunder taking on Michigan Ice Monster. And Blue Thunder is going to take the win over Ice Monster. Next up, we have a very interesting race between two of your top 8 in the point standings. We have Excalibur taking on Dancer. And what a race that is. It certainly lives up to the hype. And it looks like just barely it is going to go to Excalibur. Next up, we have a battle of two pretty fast trucks, in my opinion. We have Captain's Curse taking on your Event 2 champion, the Holiday Stunt Truck. And Captain's Curse rolls over. That is going to give the win to the Holiday Stunt Truck. Next up, we have the final race of round number 2, which is going to be between the Old Tool Gravedigger and the Snowdrifters Megalodon. And Megalodon is going to take the win over Gravedigger. Alrighty, guys. So these 12 trucks that you can see right here all lost in round number 2, which means that they will get 2 points for this event. And now it is time for round number 3. So just like that, we are down to 12 trucks. Now here's a great look at all of the matchups in this round. And of course, if you lose in this round, you will get 3 points for this event. So without further ado, we are going to kick things off with Holiday Hauler taking on Stone Crusher. So who is going to be the first person to move on to round number 4? It is going to be an amazing race, and for the second round in a row, Stone Crusher wins with a huge comeback over Holiday Hauler. Next up, we have a battle of the customs. We have Zombie taking on Monster Mutt Dalmatian. And what a race! 2 amazing races back to back, and oh my goodness, that is probably the closest race of this event so far. But as you guys can see, just barely, Monster Mutt Dalmatian is going to edge out Zombie. Next up, we have Orange El Toro Loco taking on Batman. And Batman, with an amazing run, is going to defeat the Orange El Toro Loco. Next up, we have Scooby-Doo taking on the Black Roll Cage Hot Wheels. And Scooby-Doo is going to take the win over Hot Wheels. Next up, we have Blue Thunder taking on Excalibur. And Blue Thunder is going to roll over, and that will give Excalibur the win. Next up, we have the final race of round number 3, which is going to be between the final 2 Spin Master trucks that are still left in this event, and probably the 2 that have been the fastest so far this season, the Holiday Stunt Truck taking on the Snowdrifters Megalodon. And it is going to be the Snowdrifters Megalodon with a block. Alrighty, you guys. So these 6 trucks all lost in round number 3, which means that they will collect 3 points for this event. And now it is time for round number 4, otherwise known as the quote-unquote quarterfinals. So here's a great look at all of the matchups in this round, and as you guys can see, there are 6 trucks remaining. Now, just like in every single event this season, in this round, there is going to be a triple threat fast loser race, because obviously 6 would go down to 3, and 3 is an odd number. So the 3 losers in this round will all come back in one race against each other, and whoever wins that race will get the 4th and final spot in the semifinals. I almost said quarterfinals. And then whichever 2 trucks do end up getting eliminated from this round, they will both receive 4 points for this event. So if you lose, do not worry, because you will be in the fast loser. So anyways, guys, without further ado, we are going to kick things off with Stone Crusher taking on Monster Mutt Dalmatian. So who is going to be the first person to move on to the semifinals? It is going to be Stone Crusher with a block on Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Next up, we have Batman taking on Scooby-Doo. And Batman rolls over. That is going to give the win to Scooby-Doo. Next up, we have the final race of round number 4 until the Triple Threat Fast Loser race. And boy, oh boy, is this an interesting one. We have Excalibur, who comes into this event tied for 4th in the points, and the Snowdrifters Megalodon, who coming into this event is tied for 6th. So coming in, Excalibur has 8 points, and Megalodon has 7. They have been 2 of the fastest trucks so far within the first 3 events this season. Let's see who is going to come out on top here. It is going to be Megalodon getting the best of Excalibur. So 3 trucks have moved on to the semifinals, and now it is time for the Triple Threat Fast Loser race. So on the bottom, we have Excalibur and Batman, and then we have Monster Mutt Dalmatian on top. Whoever wins this race is going to get the 4th and final spot in the semifinals, and the 2 losers will both receive 4 points for this event. So let's see who it's going to be. And they all go wild, and it ends up being Batman with a block on Excalibur. Monster Mutt Dalmatian rolled over, and Batman takes the win. So both Excalibur and Monster Mutt Dalmatian lost in round number 4, which means that they will collect 4 points for this event. And now we are down to the semifinals of Monster Jam Holiday Racing Season 6, Event Number 3. So let's go over the field of trucks. Inside of Stone Crusher, we have Craig Cooper. Inside of Scooby-Doo, we have Mark Galloway. Inside of the Snowdrifters Megalodon, we have Aaron 310 Monster Jam. And inside of Batman, we have Monster Jam Collector 2008. So this is a very interesting semifinals. All 4 of these trucks are brand new to the semis. None of them had made it this far up to this point this season. Now granted, this is only event number 3, but still, a brand new slate of trucks in the semifinals is really cool to see. So as you guys know, if you lose in this round, you will collect 5 points for this event. So this should be very, very interesting. And without further ado, we are going to kick things off with Stone Crusher taking on Scooby-Doo. So who is going to go to the championship race? Will it be Craig Cooper or Mark Galloway? It is going to be Mark Galloway and Scooby-Doo just sneaking by Stone Crusher. And man, oh man, I am so sorry to Craig Cooper in Stone Crusher. This truck looked really, really fast today, which was honestly a big surprise to me, because if my memory serves me correctly, this truck lost in round number 1 in both events 1 and 2. So what an amazing turnaround it was here today for this truck. You're still going to collect 5 points for this event, which is really, really good. And better luck next time, man, in event number 4. So who is going to meet Mark Galloway and Scooby-Doo in the championship race? Is it going to be Aaron 310 Monster Jam in the Snowdrifters Megalodon, or Monster Jam Collector 2008 in Batman? It is going to be an amazing race all the way down to the end. You really can't ask for a better race here in the semifinals. We're gonna have to go straight down, and it looks like just barely Batman is going to defeat Megalodon. So Stone Crusher and the Snowdrifters Megalodon both lost in the semifinals, which means that they will both collect 5 points for this event. And now we are down to the championship race of Monster Jam Holiday Racing Season 6, Event Number 3. So inside of Scooby-Doo, we have Mark Galloway, and inside of Batman, we have Monster Jam Collector 2008. So coming into this event, both of these trucks had 4 points, which was honestly pretty solid. They were actually in a 10-way tie from 14th to 23rd in the point standings, but as you guys know, there are 48 trucks, so both of these trucks were already in the top half of the points, and they have certainly done a great job here today at adding to their points total. So the winner is going to get 7 points, and the loser is going to get 6. So the winner of Monster Jam Holiday Racing Season 6, Event Number 3 is going to be none other than... It is going to be Monster Jam Collector 2008 in Batman. Congratulations, man. You have won event number 3 of Season 6 of Holiday Racing. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, Monster Jam Collector 2008 was the winner of Season 5 of the Holiday Racing when he was in the Old Tool Gravedigger. And now this Batman truck actually won Season 3. So we have a former championship driver and truck combined here. Again, Batman won Season 3. The driver at Monster Jam Collector 2008 won Season 5. And now they have won here today in event number 3. So again, congratulations, man. You are going to collect 7 points for this event. And man, oh man, Mark Galloway and Scooby-Doo unfortunately has fallen just short of victory here today, but you are still going to collect 6 points, which is still really, really good, and you are definitely going to be towards the top of the point standings, but I'm so sorry that you lost in the championship race here, man. Better luck in event number 4 to you. But anyways, guys, what I am going to do now is total up the current point standings so you guys can all see where you sit after this event, so I will be right back. Alrighty guys, so here is a look at the updated point standings after this event, and as you can see, things are starting to get really, really tight at the top of the point standings now. So after this event, first of all, we have a 3-way tie for the points lead with Mechanical Mischief, Snowdrifters Megalodon, and Excalibur. They are in a 3-way tie, all at 12 points, and then we actually have a tie behind them at 4th, 5th, and 6th, only 1 point back, with Batman, Gravedigger Track Ace, and the Holiday Stunt Truck, and then a tie for 7th and 8th between the 2011 Monster Mutt and Scooby-Doo, who both have 10 points. So 7th and 8th place are both only 2 points off of the lead. Then in 9th place, we have Dragon right now with 9 points. He is only 3 points back. And then we have a tie for 10th and 11th with Dancer and the Orange El Toro Loco, both only 4 points back. So the top 11 only separated by 4 points in the point standings now. So things are very, very close at the top after this event, as you guys can see. So then after that, we have all the trucks with 7 points, including Stone Crusher, Michigan Ice Monster, Zombie, Old Tool Gravedigger, and Captain's Curse. So again, they are 12th through 16th. Then all the trucks with 6 points, starting off with Monster Mutt Dalmatian, who definitely took a big leap today after losing in round 1 in the first 2 events. He lost in the quote-unquote quarterfinals here in this event today. Then we also have Holiday Hauler, Black Roll Cage Hot Wheels, Megalodon, Snowdrifters Earthshaker, and Max D. So that is your top 22, all in the top half of the point standings, because once again, there are 48 trucks. So now here is a look at all of the trucks with 5 points, from Blue Thunder all the way down to the Snowdrifters Max D. Then we have all the trucks with 4 points, from TMNT all the way down to Santa's Monster Sleigh. So what that means for those guys right there, they lost in round number 1 in 2 out of the 3 events so far, and then in the third one they lost in round number 2, whether that be this event or one of the first 2. But they all have 4 points, and then unfortunately, there are still 7 different trucks that have lost in round number 1 in the first 3 events. Son of a Digger, Higher Education, Jurassic Attack, Iron Man, Prowler, Pirate's Curse, and Tasmanian Devil. So Prowler and Tasmanian Devil, in my opinion, are definitely the most surprising 2. Like I've mentioned many times throughout this video, those 2 trucks are usually super, super fast. Prowler was the Season 4 champion. Tasmanian Devil is always super close. He was actually the runner-up last season in Season 5. So I don't know what's going on with those 2 trucks. They're off to a very, very slow start, but if they want to be in contention to win the championship this season, they are going to have to get it together in event number 4, because we're still only 3 events in. There are still 7 events to go in this season, so still a lot of time for those guys to make up some points, but they got to start doing it soon. So anyways, guys, that is basically going to wrap up this video. So congratulations one last time to Monster Jam Collector 2008 and Batman for winning here today. You guys saw what that win did for him in the points. He is now up to 4th place in the point standings, tied with 2 other trucks. So yeah, and the 3-way tie at the top of the point standings is very interesting as well. So the points are looking very interesting heading into event number 4. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you guys are new to my channel, make sure that you guys do subscribe, because we are currently on the road to 17,000 subscribers. And then as always, make sure to leave a like on the video, comment anything you guys want to down in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time.